Lecture 10: Filtering with between, in, and like. As your SQL skills grow, you will often need more flexible and powerful ways to filter your data. While where with simple conditions works well, there are times when you want to match a range, check against multiple values, or search for patterns. That's where between, in, and like come in. These keywords make it easier to filter data in more precise and readable ways. In this lecture, you will learn how to use between to filter values in a range, in to match values from a list, and like to search for patterns in text. We'll explore each keyword with real examples and explain when to use each one effectively. Objectives of the lecture. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to understand how to use between to filter numeric or date ranges. Learn how in simplifies filtering against multiple values. Use like to perform pattern matching in string-based columns. Recognize how each keyword improves query clarity and flexibility. Using between. The between keyword helps you filter records that fall within a range, including both endpoints. It works well with numbers and dates. For example, if you want to extract a age range in this record, you will just write in here as, for example, you just want to write in here as select static from student table, where age, for example, and between is a keyword. Now you will just try to write a range, for example 25 and 30. So you will just have to write and 30. So when you just run this query, you will have all the record whose matches this condition, as we have two records who is matching in these conditions. It's cleaner than writing multiple greater than equal to and less than equal to conditions. You can also use between with dates, assuming your column is in date format. So the date format is, as we don't have a date format in here, but you can use a date format using year, month, and date format with hyphen in between. Using in. In is useful when you want to check if a column's value matches one from a specific list. Instead of writing several or conditions, you can do this. So you will just write in here as select static from student table and just write a keyword where. Now you will just have to put a condition in here. For example, you just want them to have a range whose matches these major subject as like this, where major subject in the main keyword, and just write, for example, you just want to extract two major subject records, as we have three: science, arts, and history. So you just want to have records of arts and comma history, and these must be in single quotes, so you will just write single quotes, don't miss that, and close this parenthesis as well. So when you just run this query, you will have all the records whose matches these conditions, like we have arts and history students, and the science major subject students has been skipped, as we have used this in keyword who just gives us the record which matches the entire condition and exact condition to be specific. It's clean, readable, and especially helpful when filtering long lists like departments, cities, or user roles. Using like. The like keyword lets you search for patterns within text. You use wildcard characters to define the pattern. The percentage sign represents 0 or more characters. The underscore character represents a single character. For example, you just want to have a record of students whose name starts with B. So you can just write in here as, you can just write, first of all, just extract the whole table as we have in here, and you will write a query as where. Now you can just write a query as name, and now you can use a keyword as like. Now for example, you just want to have the records of students whose name starts with B, so you will write single quote and B with percentage marks, close of single quotes. And now when you just run this query, you have all the records of students whose name starts with B. But if you want to have the students whose name end with specific alphabet or alphabets, then you can just change this percentage sign and right before to the specific alphabet that you want to have all the record of that ends with specific character, for example B. When you just click this query, so you will have all the records whose name ends with B, not starts with B, as we have just changed the placement of percentage sign. Keep in mind that like is case sensitive in some systems and not in others, depending on your database settings. Combining these filters, this query, and we have all the record, and we just want to apply all these keywords like between, in, and like in a single query. For that, you can just write where, and now you just have to filter it as age, and now just keyword as between, for example 20 and 30. We have put one condition in this query as the age range must be 20 and 30. And now you just want to have a major subject in specifically. Now you will have to write in parentheses with single quotes, for example history, and parentheses close. We have put second condition that the age range must be 20 and 30 and subject must be history. And for third conditions we have and with specific name and like keyword. Now we just want to have the students whose name starts with T, for example. So you will write T first and percentage sign later. Now when you just run this query, we have put three conditions like, in, and age range as well using between keyword. So when you just run this query, you will have only one record which matches all these conditions. This query will give you all the students whose age range is 20 and 30, major subject in history, and name starts with T.